What's going on YouTube? We're here with another Smite build video. I'm your host Shui. Let's dive right into it. As you can see on screen, we are going over Thor, God of Thunder. This is a requested God video. Now, I haven't really played Thor too much. I think I played him like maybe once or twice. Not really. I mean, I messed around with him a little bit, did a lot of research on him. And one of my buddies, who's actually the jungler on my team, told me a pretty solid build for him. And I tested out a little bit in practice and stuff like that to see if it worked out, and it played really, really well. And it does play really, really well. So I definitely recommend using this build. I wouldn't give you a build that I wouldn't recommend, but this one's not coming straight out of my head, but it's coming from one of my buddies. It's actually Fright Death. You might see him in some of my other videos later on down the road. But I got to give credit where credit is due, and this is his build because I don't really play Thor too much. We're going to dive right into it, and we're going to look over the abilities real quick. Starting off with the passive, you have Thor gains physical power for each enemy god within 30 units of him. 15 per god, stacks out to 3. So you can get 45 physical power per passive, I guess is what we say. Per passive? Is that not per move, but per passive? Sounds good to me. I'm just going to say right now, I don't know how to pronounce the name of Thor's hammer. If you know and you have like a little pronunciation you can put down on the bottom, that'd be greatly appreciated because I have no idea. I love Marvel with Thor and all that stuff, and I still have no idea how to pronounce his hammer's name. Not a clue. But Thor throws his hammer forward, dealing damage to all enemies in its path. If hit twice, minions will take half damage while gods take double damage from the return. While the hammer is flying, press the button again. Will teleport Thor to his hammer. It's 210 plus 30% of your physical power. Pretty solid. It's a TP. It's a wave clear. It's a god just smack face. It's pretty good. It's very, very useful. Next one is your main utility move, which is going to be Tectonic Rift. Thor slams his hammer on the ground, causing a fissure to appear in front of him, stunning enemies and blocking movement. And as a stun, which lasts for 1.6 seconds, and the fissure lifetime is 4 seconds. So you can use this to wall off or section off a section of jungle or lane, or also use it to engage with a stun, so you can dive in and then fissure and cause stuns, and you can actually hit multiple people with stuns. It's really useful, and I definitely recommend investing in this if you're going to be learning how to use this very, very well if you're going to be engaging in a lot of team fights. But if you're doing competitive, happens a lot. Berserker Barrage. Thor spins his hammer around him, doing damage every 0.4 seconds. Thor is immune to knockup for the duration. Has a 20 radius. It's 100 plus 45% of your physical power. It lasts for 2 seconds. This is going to be your main combo, as you're going to actually ult in or hammer throw in, spin or fissure, and then spin. And you can combo these moves very, very well, and it actually does a lot of damage. Because a lot of times what I see people do is they will ult in, and they'll dunk in. They'll either Tectonic Rift and stun a bunch of people if there's more than one. But if there's just one, they'll just fall in and then spin, or they'll Tectonic Rift and just spin, and it combos very, very well. Because if they stay in that for too long, it hurts a lot. Especially if it's like a squishy mage. You will not see the next fight for like another 45 seconds and enjoy respawning. That's all I gotta say. Next we have the Anvil of Dawn. After a short build-up, Thor leaps into the air. While in the air, Thor can target a great distance away to come crashing down in the area, dealing damage and stunning all enemies in the radius. It caps out at 350 plus 120% of your physical power. Now, this is what everybody calls the dunk, which is where you go up and then you just fly down and slam down. It's like a slam dunk is pretty much what everybody calls it. And it's very, very useful, and it combos very well, and has a lot of good synergy with the rest of his moves. So I definitely recommend using that, guys, as much as physically possible. Honestly, I like dunk every time you see a team fight, dunk every time you see somebody getting away, every single time. It's very, very useful. Now we're going to go down to ability builder right quick. I recommend doing Berserker Barrage because you're going to use that to clear minion camps. Then the hammer attunement, Tectonic Rift, and then Barrage, Anvil, Barrage, Barrage, Hammer, Anvil, Barrage, Hammer, Hammer, Anvil, Hammer, Rift, Rift, Super, Rift, Rift, Super. That easy, guys. Pretty easy. Item builder. Now, this is not exactly what I normally use for an assassin, but it works pretty well, and my buddy says that it's really, really good. Fright Death is given his stamp of approval on this Thor build. I definitely recommend using it. Start out with Bumba's Mask, which pretty much 10 MP5, your basic attacks do 10 true damage, and your abilities do plus 10% damage versus jungle camps. You're healed for 10% of the camp's max health. If you have an ally nearby, you get gold as if they were not there. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory for a jungler. Next, you're going to be buying your starter boots, which is pretty expected, honestly, if you've played this for a while. And then you're going to be buying 2 health pots and you're going to be buying 2 mana pots, which is actually pretty common for a solid jungler build because it gives you a lot more sustain, and depending on what you get and what you don't get, you can pretty much pop a pot to just fix it and just fill the gap for whatever you need. Then first thing you're actually going to build is going to be the Warrior Tabby, which is a little different than what you build for a lot of other assassins, because a lot of other assassins you're going to be building Ninja Tabby. But Warrior Tabby makes you hit like a truck early on, so the 40 physical power, excuse me, is very, very useful. The next one is going to be Jotun's Wrath, which is pretty solid pick in my opinion. I like the physical power, which is 40. It gives you 150 mana, 11 physical pen, and 25% cooldown. You're going to be dunking all day. You're going to be throwing hammers everywhere. You're going to be spinning like a crazy barbarian from Diablo 3. And it's going to be crazy. It's going to be awesome. You guys are going to enjoy it and have a good time. Physical pen to make you just shred through early game tanks. Physical power, because why not? And 150 mana to cast all those spells with ease. Pretty self-explanatory on that one. Next one is actually a pretty common one as well that is used in a lot of builds for people that want to hit hard, hit fast. That is Transcendence. Gives you 35 physical power, 300 mana, and 6 MP5. You permanently gain 15 mana per stack and receive 5 for a god, 1 for a minion. Caps out at 50, and 3% of your mana is converted into physical power. Nothing really to explain here, guys. If you've been on my channel for a while, you understand that this build pretty much needs Transcendence because you're basing it off of physical power. And you're just going to be hitting like a truck everywhere all day. And then we're going to go down to damage. Now, here's the thing is I just put everything in a book sort of style. So I don't actually put the defensive items in defensive or the damage items in damage. I put it in what the order you need to buy them in. So I don't catch flack saying, hey, why is this item in damage? This isn't a damage item. I know that. It's easier for you guys and convenient for you guys because you don't need to do this like putting in damage, putting in defense unless you're doing auto buy. Which I don't do auto buy. I don't recommend you doing auto buy due to the fact that things change mid-game. So you might need to alter your build at some point in time. Now, we're going to go down here, and the next item is going to be a defensive item, but I'm going to be putting it in the non-defensive category just for your convenience. It's Spirit Robe, 40 physical, 40 magical pen, or protection, 15% cooldown reduction, and you gain an additional 15% damage mitigation for 3 seconds when you're hit with a hard CC. This can only occur once every 10 seconds, so pretty much you deflect 15% of the damage that is dealt to you for 3 seconds when you get hit with a hard CC. That's something that completely disorients and stuns you, and you are immobilized completely. So that's like Fenrir's Bite, that's Artemis's Hog, that's like all that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that's considered a hard CC. So throw that Spirit Robe down there. The next one is actually another defensive item, and this one is going to be Shifter's Shield. It gives you 40 physical power, 15 of both physical and magical protection. And while you're over 50 health, you gain 20 physical power. While under, you gain 20 protection. So 20 on both. Pretty self-explanatory. You're going to be more of a tanky assassin with this build, guys. But it's going to help you pretty much have longevity in team fights. You're not just going to go out there like a Thanatos and just get squashed like a little bug late game. This gives you more longevity, and you scale very, very well late game. So Thor is probably one of the best scaling assassins in the game. So you definitely want to make sure you keep this in mind. And I mean, you can always rotate it around, but I definitely recommend sticking to this because this is a very solid build, and it helps you scale from early to late. Next is the original item you're going to want to buy is Deathbringer, which is 50 physical power, 20% critical chance, and your critical strikes are increased by 50%. The damage is going to make you hit like a truck. It's going to be insane. It's going to be awesome. But there's a alternative item that I will put down here in defensive because that's where I like to put my alternatives. And that's as if you're going against a bunch of tanks like Sylvanas or Ymir or Athena or stuff like that, or maybe like a Yenyu or Hercules or Odin. I think that's about all the ones you're probably going to run into. You're going to want to switch it out to Titan's Bane, which gives you 30 physical power, and all your physical attacks gain 33% physical pen. This just lets you shred through the tanks. Like, they're going to be nothing to you but paper, wet paper, and you have a katana. Like, you're just going to rip right through them, and there's nothing they're going to be able to do about it. So I definitely recommend doing that. We're not actually going to throw that onto the build because it's an alternative build, because if you're not going against more than maybe one tank, you don't need it. Not going to really be your godsend item. We're going to go ahead and throw these on and do the overcap of the build like we always do. Your basic attacks are going to be hitting 334s. You got 269 power, 1.29 attack speed, 0 lifesteal, 11 pen, 20 critical chance. You got 127 protection from physical, 103 protection from magical, 1995 health with 23 HP 5. You got 437 movement speed, soft cap or hard capped out at 40% cooldown, 1450 mana with 16 MP5, guys. Now that is not to mention your mana stats. do not count with the stacks on Transcendence. So that will be a little higher, which then it will in turn increase your physical power. So you'll probably hard cap out on physical power after the Transcendence and the Shifter Shield and all that stuff kind of calculates in. So you definitely want to take that in consideration to see that you will actually be hitting a lot harder than even this shows. And this shows you're going to be hitting pretty hard. But I really do hope this video did help you guys. I mean, I'm pretty much here to serve you guys and help you guys out. I didn't know this, so I went to an outside source. I hope that doesn't bug you guys too much, but I'm here to bring you the best content, and I wouldn't want to falsify a build that I was not 100% sure works. Now, I went to a guy that knew that it worked, and he used it all the time, and he has a Diamond Thor with, like, I think over, like, 1,500 kills. So definitely make sure that you guys understand why I went to somebody else, is so you guys get the best information from the best source. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you smash the hell out that like button for me. It really does let me know you do appreciate these videos, and it drives me to make more for you. Make sure you comment down below any other gods you would like to see, or what you think about this build, or if there's anything you would change, let me know, you know, because then I could relay it to other people, and so on and so forth. The informational channel here. And make sure you hit that subscribe button as well if you have not already, to join the Shoe Crew, because that's where all the cool kids are. You know, we're here to party, have a good time, learn some stuff. And, you know, maybe just watch some videos and chill. You know, you don't even have to party. That's pretty much it for me, guys. I'm out of here. Peace.